is the failure to take into account scale. And these remarks about, well, let's just shut off fracking and somehow green energy will pick up the slack ignores the fact that 33% of our total energy is natural gas in the United States. Clean energy, so-called renewable energy, is 13%. So this is a classic case of saying, let's shut off the supply and then see what happens. Now, I'll tell you what will happen. The price goes through the roof, and the people most incapable of bearing these extra costs suffer. You might have noticed, perhaps, a recent study that shows credit card debt today is greater than it has ever been. And that is because people are continuing to spend as though they were still receiving free money, as was the case a couple of years ago. Unfortunate, isn't it? But when they have to pay for fuel to get to work and they're busy paying higher costs on their credit cards, why would we do something to drive those costs up before we have an alternative? And so I just want to say, Mr. Chair, I of course support this bill, and I would recommend that those who are talking aggressively about doing away with fracking share with all of us how you're going to replace that 33%. Because you're not going to do it overnight. It's not going to, in fact, it's going to take years. And one other thing, it might be worthwhile to revisit the source of the rare earth minerals that are going to be necessary for this so-called clean power. Mr. Chair, it amazes me how blithely people pass over these super important parts of this conversation. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Is there further discussion? I recognize myself. And as has been mentioned, hydraulic fracking or fracturing has had a transformative impact on the U.S. economy and the oil and gas sector, which has allowed the United States to become the world's leading producer of natural gas and oil, which has had huge economic benefits to our country. And it's also produced oil that is, and gas that has been mentioned, is cleaner than any place else that it's produced. It's a technology that's been around since 1947, but it's when American innovation came up with horizontal drilling is when fracking really came to the forefront and has created somewhat of a revolution in the fossil fuel industry here in the U.S. This increased production of oil and gas in the U.S. has led to lower energy prices for consumers. It's led to economic growth, and it's led to improved quality of life for Americans.
Good morning, friends. Major news has just been released. Analysts are now saying that Social Security benefit cuts may not be necessary to save the program. There are two new proposed plans, including tax increases, that lawmakers believe will actually work to solve the funding shortfall. But certain groups of Americans will see a negative impact on their finances if this is enacted. My dear friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video for all of the latest Social Security news. Also, every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. The Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund Reserve that covers Social Security benefits is currently on track to be depleted by the year 2033. The balance of benefits, 77%, comes from payroll taxes. To shift course, the SSA has a few options: cut Social Security benefits or increase taxes. Without any action, Social Security recipients may see an automatic cut of 20% in their benefits in the year 2034. According to a brief from the American Academy of Actuaries, acting now to address Social Security's financial challenges would allow Congress to consider reform options that are more moderate, gradual, and provide the American people time to adjust to any needed changes in benefit cuts or taxes. But the big question is, should the action involve reducing benefits or increasing taxes? Well, some analysts say it is important to realize that the government has never cut benefits already being paid. If Congress is unable to act before 2034, a reduction in benefits to Americans not in pay status at that point would have no impact on 2034's cash flow. So even if benefits are cut through a variety of techniques, starting within the next year, it would only reduce a shortfall by about 28%. This means that tax hikes are seemingly inevitable, with or without benefit cuts. The American Academy of Actuaries wrote in a recent statement, if Congress cannot reform Social Security until the year 2034, all of the reform would need to be through increased taxes, unless Congress is willing to break its tradition of not cutting benefits already being paid, or is willing to borrow from general revenue. So without benefit cuts, the SSA would need to increase taxes by 25%. They also noted that increasing the payroll tax from 6.2% to 7.75% for workers and employers would eliminate the shortfall. Overall, Social Security taxes have never been increased by more than 0.5% in any year. The SSA has other options to increase revenue by collecting more taxes as well. Tax all earnings, eliminating the tax cap, which is $160,200 in 2023, increase taxable maximum to $400,000, or tax investment income, estates, gifts, and carried interest. On their own, none of these three solutions would cover the entire shortfall, so a combination of the measures must be considered. Experts have indicated that a combination of phased-in benefit reductions and tax cuts may help solve the shortfall. But time is of the essence. Regardless of the changes, whether they come in the form of tax hikes or benefit cuts, they must be implemented soon to keep Social Security benefits intact. Small actions today, such as phasing in both tax increases and benefit reductions, would be less disruptive to Social Security beneficiaries. Phasing in changes, the report pointed out, also gives people more time to plan for their retirement. Credit card debt has surged once again during the third quarter, and so did the number of people who were missing payments. Credit card balances rose by $48 billion in the third quarter to a record high of $1.08 trillion. The $154 billion year-over-year gain in debt was the largest such increase since the beginning of the series in 1999. While rising delinquencies spanned incomes and regions, they were especially acute among millennials and those with auto or student loans. The new data comes as the 3-year federal student loan payment pause ended in October, and interest rates on credit cards have increased to 38-year highs. The combination has been a blow to some borrowers who were saddled with credit card debt. The youngest Americans are finding it harder to dig themselves out of credit card debt. Those flowing into serious delinquency on credit card debt, which are 90 days or more past due on their payments, posted the largest increases out of every debt category. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, every Friday I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and blessed Veterans Day weekend.